secure all the savings that they're signing up for, because I think they're working very, very hard on it. My thought and my feelings are that those savings are going to be eaten up by those business losses. And at the end of the day, they're not going to end up any better off, because that's what's going to happen to the business, to the P&L.
And basically, the delta will be the continued volume decline, right?
Exactly.
Okay, and what about the $100 million on the logistics that they can do? I mean, the plant efficiency. You mentioned that part is very hard to execute. I mean,
yeah.
What do you think for that?
I would tell you that as a side note, again, and I'm seeing this in my own business, is a tremendous amount of inflation within transportation. So that's going to be another headwind for them to deal with. Oil and diesel fuel is another headwind. But they'll execute on the transportation savings. But again, I think a lot of the benefits of the cost savings program is going to be mitigated by the volume losses and the business losses, and then having a more costly structure at the end of the day, perhaps, and not necessarily a lower cost model. Because of the network optimization is going to be so challenging.
And this network optimization, how does that work? I mean, how long does it take usually? I mean, so you kind of, as you just said, like, look, Walmart's opened the plant. I mean, you just immediately overnight the plants all around it lost 20% of volume. I mean, you got a bunch of empty trucks, right?
Yeah. So yep. So I mean, what it typically looks like is we'll start with a kind of map of the geography. You try to utilize the plant asset to its maximum potential. So you try to close a plant within the network, put that volume into another plant, so you get a plant that is better utilized. But then once you've completed that, then you have to complete that route structure build out. Right. So you need to have, they'll call them branches. They'll need to have refrigerated branches. They'll shuttle bulk volumes to those branches, and then they'll run routes out of those branches, kind of a spoke and hub kind of a model. And, they would have all kinds of assets to help them understand how those dynamics work, software, and then they'd have experts. They have very knowledgeable people in-house. That understand that, but typically that would be the basic way that network optimization would work.
So that's a incremental capital spend that they would need, right?
Absolutely, it's a large capital spend and a significant investment.
So yeah, and that's something. Basically, and do you think they already started working ahead of this, or this is something that they usually will start doing after, like, this volume starts to come off? I mean, how have they done it in the past?
No, I haven't heard any announcements about plants being closed and that. Oh, I actually have. I think they announced. I saw it recently that they announced that they were going to close their Louisville plant. They are closing a plant in the Northeast, which they've also announced, but I believe they would have started this work a year. As soon as they found out about Walmart's plans to build a plant, that's the day the work would have started. So I believe that they're well into it, and they're probably ready to execute on their plan as soon as Walmart begins taking volume away.
Okay. I mean, if you were to look at the business yourself, I mean, is there any other room for more savings beyond this kind of $150 million? I mean, if you were to, is there more upside potentially in terms of they can take